All right, welcome to the Gamers Cast, episode 4. And tonight, we're missing a couple of people, man. Kind of last minute situation, but it's all good. We're gonna rock with what we've got. Maybe they come in later, maybe they don't. But of course, my man Dustin. How's it going tonight, man? Glad to have you.
Good, man. Going
Glad
good.
to have you. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right, Dre 41, man.
Yo,
Glad to have you back.
on?
Glad to have you back.
Back.
Two shows in a row. That's awesome. And then the superior one, Spike. What's going on?
What's up?
Awesome, dude. And of course, Tatted Up Gamer Dude here. And so how's everybody's week, man? Actually, 2 weeks, I guess, since the last time we've actually done an episode.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I'm busy.
So
I've been off this whole week because of the snowstorm we had out here.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah.
Where?
New York.
Oh, we don't get
New York.
Nah, it was up to your ankles and stuff. Like they cancel flights, everything. Don't give me that look. Like if work told me I work at the airport, if they tell me don't come in, then it's serious.
Hey, take advantage of that. Now, do you get paid?
No.
Oh,
nah.
That sucks.
Denied.
That'd be nice. I was gonna say that'd be nice, dude. I know some people when they get, that stuff kind of.
I mean, I could have been like, let me use my PTOs, but it's not that serious.
Yeah. You need to keep that for something serious because you never know.
Yeah.
Use that up and then all of a sudden, bam, something happens and yeah, man. All right, well, let's go ahead and start off the topics. And tonight we got several topics, some really good ones and some really hard ones too. At least for me, man, I was over here like sweating a little bit on some of these, man. And one of them, man, for sure, dude. I was just like, oh man, dude, well, let's go ahead and start off with Dustin. Games you played in the last week or two or whatever since the last time we talked.
Well, other than 2K19 and Fire Pro, Power Rangers Legacy Wars, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, and Legends of Wrestling 2. Been the main ones I've been playing.
Been doing a bunch of wrestling this last week or two, huh?
Yeah, grinding on Legends of Wrestling, trying to get through it with Sid and Bret Hart.
Okay.
Must be a mission.
Not really, unless I get put in like 4-way dances where it only takes one fall to win. I'm like, okay.
All right, Dre, what you been playing?
I've been playing some old ones. Game Day 98.
Okay.
NBA Live 2005.
All right.
Wrestle Kingdom 1 and 2. And what else have I been playing? Let me look at my games. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the only like new one. I play NBA 2K21, but I don't count that as like that's something I play on a regular basis. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Spike?
I've been doing the streaming thing on Twitch, so I've been playing a little bit of everything. I've been playing Battletoads with my son. What else? I think we played DayZ last week when we got off.
Dre didn't say anything about it, but I was gonna say, okay, if nobody
I ain't
says
gonna talk about how I
mention
got sniped from out of nowhere, but I don't know what happened. I was doing so well.
What else? Tomb Raider. Like I said, anything that's in the Games Pass on like Xbox or even on like PlayStation, I've just been jumping in and playing like a little bit of everything. So I'm not gonna list every single because I've played almost everything out of like the 100 games. The main thing, like Animal Crossing, which I said I play that every week. I jumped back into a little bit of Smash Brothers, and I've been on my Vita. I've been playing Xenogears.
All right. Nice. Let's see. What have I been playing this week? So, of course, DayZ. Like I said, me, you, and Dre and she, we all played that for a couple hours or something like that. And then next thing I know, I was out running around by myself. Everybody else had got off. Didn't even.
I got sniped. I had to run.
So yeah, hopefully we can all get into that another night, man. Like, give it another chance. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to, man, try to meet up at least, man, and teach you guys some stuff, man. So that'd be nice. But of course, you guys know. So of course, you guys know, obviously. And then some of the viewers that watch the channel know, I guess, or whatever from my video or two. But of course, last Wednesday, I finally got the PS5, and so I've been playing some Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Loving that game, man. Absolutely loving that game. Put it down for a little bit because I also ended up getting a few days ago for an early Valentine's Day present for my wife, Demon's Souls. That game, yo. I never
can't
was.
play those. I can't play those.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, like I was never really big on like the series. I never really even got into many of the other games. I've played them a little bit, but I never was like heavy into them, which I was thinking going into it. I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe should I not buy it? But there's not really a lot of exclusives right now for, so I was like, you know what, I'll get it. You know what I mean? And try it out. Dude, that game is dope, dude. It not only like looks amazing. It's actually pretty cool, man. You can make your guy too, and choose different things, like being like an actual knight, a different kind of knight, a barbarian, a wizard. Like it's dope, man. I wasn't expecting it because, like I said, I'm not too heavy into it, but I wasn't expecting it to be like that. But so far, what I've played in it, I've only played a couple hours or so into it. I was going to get into it last night when I got off of work, man, but it was so late and I was just like tired, man. I ended up not getting on it, but really, really dope game. I'm looking forward to digging a little bit deeper into it. And then, of course, playing some more Spider-Man. One more game. I wouldn't really, I don't consider it really playing. I mean, I've argued with people before in the past. Like, I'm playing, I'm on it, or I'm doing stuff, but I was on 2K19 for Xbox and for my PS5, of course, or whatever, and I was updating some stuff on my personal guy, and made my guy over on PlayStation 5, and finally made Dustin's character that he's been asking for like
Thank
3 years for the PlayStation side. I finally got around to that. It turned out really good, dude. I was thinking I was gonna be really rusty because I haven't really made anybody in a while, and it turned out good. To me, I think it did. But anyways, yeah. So that's what I've been playing these last like couple of weeks or whatever, and so yeah, let's guess we can go and move over to the next topic, which would be. Now this one, dude, this one didn't take me no time at all for this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and let Dre start this one off, man.
Oh, why me?
Most disappointing most disappointed or disappointing game ever, in your opinion, dude. For you.
I would have to say, because I wanted to finish the complete trilogy, and it stopped me from doing that, Mass Effect 3.
Okay.
I beat Mass Effect 1 and 2.
What?
Played those straight through.
That's your most disappointing game ever.
Yo, because I couldn't finish the story. I couldn't finish Shepard's story. And I don't know what happened to him. Couldn't finish it because the game was so broken. It was just like, I can't play it. And then I guess they patched it to where it started working, but by then I didn't even have the game anymore. So
already lost interest and stuff, and didn't have it.
That's probably the most disappointing one.
Okay. About you, Swipe?
5-star wrestling.
5-star wrestling.
5-star wrestling. That was supposed. It came out for PS3.
Okay.
But like they hyped it so much, and I think like the PlayStation 4 came out, and I guess the game came out the same time or like around the launch frame. So it's like I didn't even know there was a PS3 version. So it came out for the PS4. I got the PS4 version. That has to be the most disappointing game ever in all my 30-something years of gaming. Mainly because they low-key hyped up the game. It's similar, and no shots against these guys like Virtual Basement or anything like that. It was like a little small company. You didn't know anything about them. Serious parody. And they got Rey Mysterio on board, and they got DDP on board, and they were cutting like little promos and stuff like, oh, this game is going to be innovative, and they've promised so much stuff in the game. Like they were like, if you're doing Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar and you work Brock Lesnar's legs for the whole match. When he picks you up to do like a F5, his legs could buckle and he'll drop you. Or same thing, like you're fighting Goldberg, you work his legs. When he goes for the spear, he could potentially like his leg again buckles and he drops, or he can't do certain moves. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's unique. They had DDP coming in. He was just like, yeah, you could literally hit the diamond cutter from anywhere. If they have you about to do a superplex, you could turn it into a diamond cutter. You're running at them, diamond cutter. You're standing, diamond cutter. You're standing groggy and you reverse it and they throw a punch, diamond cutter. They have you, you're in a jackhammer, reverse the jackhammer or the jackknife or whatever into a diamond cutter. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be unique. And then you saw nothing from the game. But me, I don't like to wait for stuff. So I blindly jumped in, I bought it. And when I played it, I was just like, what the hell is this? I knew it was going to have like a mock roster with Brock was Ragnarok and I forget what they call The Rock. Randy Orton was like Randy Orton.
Okay. At first I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, what is he talking about? And then
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
They actually had a real promotion too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, actual RVD went there and actually did work for them. Yeah.
Dustin.
All right. For me, the most disappointing because the previous ones were great in my opinion, but for me, Tekken 6.
I didn't play that one.
Because I mean,
I played it, but
I played it, and that's one of those games where I think I tried maybe an hour playing it, and I couldn't do it because.
I respect your opinion. I'm just, in my opinion, if I'm thinking on the Tekken series, I'm thinking the Tekken Tag is more disappointing than that game.
Like six.
I love Tekken Tag.
I've never touched it. It's like I got 7, so yeah.
I haven't played 7 too much. I do have that. I never really messed with it too much. I don't know. I think I just had too much going on, like I always do, and I just never really messed with. I got it for Black Friday one year or whatever, and for whatever reason, I just never really messed with it. So Tekken 6, huh? Any reason? Any real reason why? Or
they had where you can go like different levels, like sort of walk to different areas. I'm like, that's not Tekken. And
like similar to like Tekken 3.
No,
it's not like Tekken 4.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like Tekken 3.
I thought that's what
I was gonna say, Tekken 3 is great, dude. Like, that's a great one.
All right, imagine playing what was it? Is it SVR 11? Where you can walk around the backstage and all that stuff. Pretty much take that aspect into Tekken 6. But it was like there's not really no story to it.
Now I gotta play it just to see what it's like.
Wait a minute,
I didn't
aren't
care
you
for
playing
that.
You're playing that military dude, right? That looked like a Final Fantasy character. Right?
Yeah,
okay, I remember that.
And you can't really get one of the actual characters you want to play as.
Yeah, you got to play as one character straight through. Yeah.
And also, I got one more to add on this one, and because I was told this is supposed to be like Street Fighter when I got this game at a flea market, and I was lied to horribly. Akuji the Heartless on PlayStation. That game was utter trash.
I've never heard of that either.
I feel like I've heard of this game, but I don't remember it.
I have not heard of that.
Roll the footage. What you said, Akuji? What the hell?
Akuji the Heartless.
Oh, it pops right up too when I typed it in.
Oh wow, it did. Oh, I remember this.
See, like I said, I'm a person, like I see the cover of the game, and if it doesn't appeal to me, I don't take a second look. I remember seeing this in the store and just like bypassing it completely.
Yeah.
Man, I've never heard of that game before.
Good.
Doesn't even ring a bell like at all. I mean, maybe that's a good thing, I guess. Well, who gave it an 8 out of 10?
IGN, of course. It's IGN.
Man,
like,
I don't care nothing.
That was also how many years ago, though?
I don't care nothing about
it's 4.8 out of 5 on eBay. So I don't know.
Might not be that bad. You just probably don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, hey.
Probably didn't, but I
was gonna say.
I was expecting something like Street Fighter.
Like people told me SNK was like Street Fighter, and then like I first played that, and I'm like, this don't play nothing like Street Fighter.
Well, y'all now, okay, my most disappointing game ever, and I know some of y'all or all of y'all or at least y'all know, dude.
Laughing because you know you're about to get some backlash.
No. Y'all probably going to agree maybe a little bit and be like, oh, okay, we've heard you talk trash about this game before, but the Division, dude. The Division. No. The most disappointing game ever for me, man.
Which one? Part 1 or part 2?
The first one, dude. The first one.
I played the demo. Now, I wasn't a fan.
Hold on. Are you talking about the beta or no? Maybe demo like
the
after it already been out.
The beta.
Okay. Here's the reason why. And if Saul would agree with me, dude, if he was in here. Dude, okay. So I hyped this game up for years, dude. 4 years. I had watched all the trailers, all the stuff, like building up, the pushback, all this stuff that this game was supposed to be, all the footage that they kept showing, all the this game was supposed to be so much different from what it was when it came out. And I'm talking, they changed a crap load of stuff, dude. The whole map thing was different. The way that dude, oh my God, it was so different from when the game finally released. Even the beta that literally was like out 2 weeks before the game was released was way different. Like way different. Like, I mean, and if the game would have came out like how the beta was, I wouldn't have been as upset because I was still hyped for it, you know what I mean? Even though I could tell that some stuff was different. But even the beta was totally different, dude, from the actual game that was we literally just got through playing the beta. And I'm talking like you were able to meet up with people and like randoms or whatever in the actual like daylight part, not going underground, you know what I mean, or going to the, you know what I'm saying,
like dark zone type thing or whatever it's called.
Like, and like all of a sudden, I don't know, man, you couldn't shoot what is that saying? That shouldn't be I'll delete that out, guys. But anyways, so the whole everything just was just different, man. Even in the beta, you could like shoot the animals. You know what I mean? You could do it was just so different, man. From when the real game came out.
You couldn't do that in the full game?
No, you couldn't shoot the animals. You couldn't shoot the dogs if you wanted to. If you wanted to be rogue, like outside, or be like shoot the regular people that was walking the streets, you couldn't do none of that.
I know you couldn't shoot the people. I remember shooting rats.
But on the beta, you could do all these different things.
Maybe I remember doing that on the beta, and then like by the time the actual game dropped, I just never tried it, and I just didn't realize they took it out.
Man, they took a bunch of stuff out, man. And like I said, even prior to that, it was just so different, man. And I spent, like I said, dude, it was one of my most anticipated games that for a while, dude. Like I was so freaking hyped for this game, dude. Mm-hmm. Being able to like get up with buddies and run amok and do all this stuff. And it was just like nothing like that, you know what I mean? From what they was promising us. And I bought the ultimate, not even the ultimate, the gold edition or whatever it was. Like I pre-ordered all this and bought all the DLC. So I dropped like $150 or more on this game, dude, and forced myself to play it for like 2 months because of how much money I dropped on this game, dude. And I got to where I just freaking hated it, dude. I like absolutely hated it. And
that's crazy. But then you like Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk kind of sounds like the same thing. Like they didn't deliver anything they promised.
I get that, man. But I wasn't like some people waiting for Cyberpunk for years, dude, or building it up. You know what I mean? Like I was excited for Cyberpunk, and I still don't think it's a bad game. You know what I mean? From what I've played, I didn't get all the bugs and the crashes that some people
take away the crashing.
Mm-hmm.
I could deal with the weird bugs like on base PlayStation, it looks terrible. It took me some while to adjust to, but the story that you get brings it all together, and that's what keeps me playing. Like, I do plan to go back to that once I get a PS5.
Right. And also the way that you the way you killed people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, I don't know, man. And I know
Bullet
Cyberpunk's a
sponge
little
thing
bit
I
like
never
that.
was a fan of.
Right. I don't know. It was just a whole bunch of stuff tied in to it, and that's and I know there's others, man, but that's a game that, if you know me, man, the last however many years ago when that came out, I have talked crap about that game all the time, to where I wouldn't even buy Division 2, and literally only got it. It was like $2 or whatever it was. Wasn't it like a year or two ago? It was like on sale or something on the store for like $2. It was something weird, and it was like $2. I had a couple buddies, that were playing it, and they were like, "Dude, it's only $2." And I was like, "All right, screw it." I still I wouldn't even buy it. I didn't want to touch it. I was like, "Nope, that game did me so south."
It was bad, but I feel like 1 was better because somebody got it for me as a gift, and I played it, and I definitely did not put in as much hours on 2 as I did on 1, and I liked 1.
Yeah, I didn't put much time into 2 at all. I mean, like I said, and I bought it for like $2, man. But that's the only reason, and I still didn't even want to buy it. Like I was that salty. Yeah, I was salty, dude. I hated it. I hated it. But anyways, so let's move right along. Next topic is your favorite sports game of all time. And let's have Spike start this one off.
I was originally gonna go with Fight Night, and I don't even like boxing like that. But last minute I changed it, and I'm gonna say UFC Undisputed.
Huh.
Which one?
Back on 360. I think
No,
there was
no.
also
Which? There's 3 of
Because
them.
there were several. Yeah. There were several.
3?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, 3.
It was like the last game in the franchise where it's like you could do so much with your character, with the creation, with the
Now,
I think you could customize your shirts and
Brock Lesnar was on that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brock
was on that game.
They actually had a community creations for that game.
Silva was on the cover, if I remember correctly.
Brock
wasn't he on that?
Yes, Brock was there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Brock was on there.
Pride. They added Pride to that game.
Yeah, because Rampage was on there.
Yep.
I can't remember all the whole roster now. I was gonna say
I still play it. Like, I still have it. Like, I got all the DLC for it. But there was even a website for that game for, like, you know, like how Cause.ws for WWE. They had a website just for creating fighters, and I was on that website, and I made Souza. What was his name? His last name was Souza. I made Randy Couture. I made a bunch of people in that game. Like, they had the formulas online. They had how you made the people's tattoos. Like, it was a whole community for that game. Like, that game.
Yeah, they had community creations on there too. Bring up logos and everything.
Download other people's stuff. Yep. I made Metal Militia logo. Like, I was making logos on that game, and it was all like in-game parts that you had to put together, and then you save it as one logo, and then you can make another one. So I was making like custom logos on trunks, like Everlast for Randy Couture. Like, I was going all out with that game. For real. Like, that game is fun as hell.
I could have sworn, man. Yes. I don't know. Someone look that up real quick.
I'm looking it up. Like,
I think Brock Lesnar was on there.
Brock was on there. Yes, he was.
I could have sworn, because I know I have the game too. I've got.
Because Brock was on there because that's when that was his last technically game. Then when they did the new UFC on Next Gen, he was on the first one.
Yeah, Brock was
he wasn't on there.
I've got the game up there somewhere. I've got it. I almost think I've got it for Xbox 360 and PS3.
Hold on, I'm about if Brock is on there, I mean that he's on there, but I don't remember.
He is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have sworn.
He is.
I'm pretty sure I played with him a lot. Him and Rampage.
Yep. I played as Brock. I played at
4-star rating in the game.
Brock's on there.
Is it? Oh yeah, he is. My bad. All right,
okay.
Shut up.
I was gonna say I thought he was,
but they added him as free DLC.
Right. Right.
His body looks so weird, but yeah.
Hey, that's a good pick, Spike. By the way, Dustin, favorite sports game.
I love UFC, but the one game I can always go back to, NFL Blitz.
Okay,
I love NFL Blitz.
that's not. I mean, that's not a bad one. That's not a
Which
bad
one? The first one?
I mean, just NFL. Well, not Blitz the League, but NFL Blitz.
Okay, I was gonna say because you better not pick.
Like
NFL
I can go back
Blitz.
on the 360 and play that one.
'Cause I was about to kick you off
all
this
day
podcast.
long.
Blitz the League got a storyline, so you can't be too mad about it.
Right.
Mm.
Hey, before we go on, and Dustin, I'm gonna let you finish that real quick, and I want to go back to Spike real quick. Before you finish, Dustin, since we're doing the favorite sports game of all time, and we're only naming one thing real quick, honorable mention. What would be your next one, Spike?
Oh man, you put me on the because I don't really play sports games like that.
I was gonna say something, man, but I forgot until just now. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't want to do a little honorable mention.
The only game I could remember putting tons and tons of hours into would have to be NBA Jam.
Okay. Hey, that's another good one. Now NBA Jam or NBA Jam Tournament or Hang Time?
Not Hang Time.
Hey, Hang Time's a
what?
Hang Time's amazing, bro.
What?
Hang Time was the truth. I ain't gonna play
Hang Time was the truth.
I don't think I played that one.
I love it.
I mean, it's the exact same game series, except for it looks much better, it plays better, and you can create your
Yes.
player on it. Yes,
and that's a selling point for me with every game, just being able to create.
Dude, that arcade cabinet that my wife bought me for Christmas, bro. It's got NBA Jam on it, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and the Hang Time one. And me and my kids, that's actually the one that we play the most on there. It's so good, dude. It's so good, dude.
Damn.
All right, Dustin, what would be your honorable mention, man?
I'm gonna have to go with what you said, NBA Hang Time.
That's a classic.
I spent a lot of hours.
So
I love that
good,
game.
Dude. So good. Well, I'll go next, and then we'll have Drake. So my favorite. Now, some of these picks, a lot of these, and for the rest of some of these topics too, man. Some of these picks, a lot of this stuff is going to be like, some of it's nostalgia, some of it is stuff. Even when I was picked from like even child stuff, so many hours and stuff that I spent on with friends. So that's what some of these answers are going to be like, because I know some of this stuff you might be like, well, but my favorite sports game of all time, and I've played some really great ones, man, but my favorite one is, and hands down, I don't even got to think about it, dude. Like, not even, like, I didn't even think even a second about it. It was immediately Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES, the original, not the very first Tecmo Bowl, but the one that was in like in '87, but the one that came out in, like, I think it was 90 or 89, 90 or something like that. The one that had all the roster on it, and you could do a bunch of other stuff and play full season and all that. And it had the full rosters and stuff like that or whatever on it, man. But so many hours was spent on that game. And dude, like on my block, bro, you know what I mean? Like in my whole little area in my block, dude, we had a bunch of us friends and stuff, dude. And we literally would like play at each other's houses and like had our teams and would play seasons on it, dude. You know what I mean? And it was just so much time was spent on that game, so much like great hours and time spent with friends and playing it. So, and obviously I know that there's been other sports games that came out that's better, but I'm going back on just the fun and the time spent, dude, you know what I mean, on it and with friends, you know what I mean? Like that means a lot to me, dude, you know what I mean? So hands down, dude, that's my favorite sports game of all time. Honorable mention would be, and here's another old one, but in both of these games is something that I could go back to and play and still have fun with it even to this day, and I do. with even my kids and stuff. You know what I mean? And literally, I was on it not too long ago playing it. But Mike Tyson's Punch Out for the NES.
Okay.
Hey, dude. Hey, I love that game, dude. And it's boxing, man. It's boxing. It's sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know boxing isn't as heavy as it used to be. You know what I mean? Anymore. But boxing used to be real big back in the days. You know what I mean? And if I had to really think about it, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of sports games. Like I know the NFL and the NBA Streets games, you know what I mean? Which I have all those. But I couldn't even tell you when the last time I've actually went back and played those. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's really good ones. Like, dude, there's really good ones. But I couldn't even tell you when the last time I went back and played those. I literally just played Mike Tyson's Punch Out like a couple of weeks ago, dude. You know what I mean? With my kids and my youngest son, he actually I help him all the time, and he's trying to like get up to fight Tyson. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm still going back and playing these games, dude. I was on Super Tecmo or Tecmo Super Bowl not that long ago either, because my oldest daughter, she likes to play that one. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and she's gotten better at it, and you know, and they've all gotten, you know, we've got tons of Switch games, dude, but they choose to play those sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, dude. So I'm still going back and playing these games, dude. So that's got to mean something. You know what I mean? So those are my favorites, man. By far, dude. By far, without even thinking about it. So here, okay.
I get it.
So Dre, what's your favorite sports game, dude? And honorable mention.
All right, favorite. I have it in my head is two that I'm fighting with, but if I had to choose one out of the other, damn, I'm gonna have to say NBA Live 2005. Number one, it was no microtransactions. This was the best times. You could unlock jerseys, you could unlock sneakers. You can have a dunk contest that was literally the best dunk contest in any basketball game, point blank, period. NBA 2K has not been able to surpass the dunk contest, the the All-Star weekend from and I'm not even gonna stunt. Me and my friends used to just play the dunk contest, and that dunk contest and 3-point contest. That was it. We would throw it off the TVs through the legs twice. And then not even only that, like the fan reaction. You will have the NBA players on the side in street clothes that, like, when you do a dunk, they're like, oh, they'll back up and fall on the seats. Like, it was so tough. And it was like the scoring system actually made sense when you played it. When you played the game looked good. When you played well, like your team overall will jump up a lot quicker than it does in 2K. It doesn't take 3 seasons to become a championship caliber team. You could do it in 1 as long as you play well with everybody. Their attributes will rise up each game. What else? The amount of accessories that they had multicolor headbands, just little stuff like that, like the little things that you like when you're playing the game and you're looking at the features and you're like, yo, like this is crazy. Like the amount of like old school sneakers, like for me, it's just like getting sneakers from the 90s because those just had so much better designs, and NBA Live 2005 had a lot of those.
Now, which one are you talking about? Now, which one?
NBA Live 2005.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It had Carmelo on it. Carmelo was on it.
Right. No, I got it when he had his
he had the braids.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the that was
the Denver Nuggets, right?
Yep, that was my team
with the baby blue jersey, right? I've got the game. It's
me too.
It's right up there, dude. So yeah, dude. NBA Live was the jam back in the days, dude. Like,
it was the truth.
That was the greatest basketball series for the longest time, and I know a lot of people, especially if you're not older, don't remember. I'm not trying to get sidetracked here, but when the NBA Live series first started, it wasn't called NBA Live at first. It was actually
like Magic, Jordan versus Bird or something. Or Magic versus Bird.
No.
You took it way back. You took it to Nintendo.
That was NES. That was NES. The very first games for EA on the basketball, It was Lakers versus Celtics. Celtics versus Lakers or whatever.
I don't even remember that.
That was the very first one on the Sega Genesis. And then the next game was Bulls versus Blazers.
I remember that.
And then the game went after that. We were supposed to get, it was like Bulls. Well, everyone thought it was supposed to be, because that's the way that they were doing them. Everybody thought it was going to be Bulls versus the Phoenix Suns or whatever, but they changed it. They changed the name of it and they went a different route, and it went to NBA Showdown. And it was NBA Showdown. It was like NBA Showdown 93, I think it was. And then there was an NBA Showdown 94. And then that's when they finally changed it, and that's when it came out as NBA Live 95. And then they kept that live all the way up until, I guess, still now, because...
Hold on.
Did I miss one?
NBA Elite. Let's not forget that. They switched it to Elite.
Yes.
They canceled it.
That was for 1 year, though, right?
NBA Elite 11. There's only a couple of copies came out for that.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I know it wasn't like that for very long though. Okay, I forgot about that. I think the reason why I forgot about that, because I had already been switched over to 2K by then. You know what I mean? 2K took over. But you were right. 2K never mastered the dunk contest, bro.
No,
I mean, the 3
they got
point,
close.
yeah,
they got close.
3-point contest was like that wasn't really hard to master.
Easy.
Right.
That's easy,
But the dunk contest, I remember when 2K was like finally taking over, and I'm like, man, this is a better game, but where's the dunk contest at? Why is that? I missed that. That dunk contest was amazing,
and then,
dude.
There was a I forgot what it was called. I think NBA The Show, they had a skills contest for their All-Star weekend, and that was tough. Like, oh man, like I remember playing that game. And I was just like, it's an off-brand NBA game, but it was just like, it had a storyline to it way before 2K started doing it. And like, they had that skills challenge where it was just like, you know, how the ball go this way and then the ball will go that way. You got to do.
Oh yeah.
Like that was so tough. Like you really had to be skilled at that.
Oh yeah. And you would think it's just like going like this and then going like this. You'd be like, oh man, this ain't that hard. But it was.
Until you got to do it.
Until you got a free throw with Shaq and his shit be like,
right, dude. Oh my god.
And you just like, all right, just press it with your eyes closed, like whatever, it don't matter. But yeah,
so what's your honorable mention though?
My honorable mention. Everybody will, I assume, will agree with this one as far as football goes. NFL 2K5.
Okay. I ain't gonna hate on that. Because that was a great game. It beat out Madden. Madden.
Yeah, like because they sold that game for like what, $40?
No, $39.99. Yeah, I don't play football games, and I picked it up because it was $39.99.
That game was only like $25 when it first released, bro. I promise you. It was $25.
Madden
was one of those games came out, and one of them was like surprisingly cheap.
You gotta think, man. Back then, the games weren't as expensive, man. I think Madden was around $50. Madden was $50, and 2K was half of that, bro. It was either $20 or $25. It was either $20 or $25.
Yeah, and everybody bought it.
I want to say $24.99 if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it was 24. Okay, so it was $25. So, and that's the thing.
$27.21.
It was like, man, are we gonna buy Madden that's like been the same every year, or are we gonna give this 2K series that's half? It's half the money. We can at least try it out. And not only was it better in price, it was overall just a better game. I mean, they had retired you could retire the jerseys. People actually could not wear the jerseys after they were retired. They had so many like cool things on there, and it's like we to this day still don't have it on Madden.
To this day, Madden 21 don't have referees on the field. It's little things like that. Like they don't even have referees on the field.
Are you serious? I ain't played it, man. So
I got it for free. Like
I saw a video where they was just like messing around with the arena, and they moved the camera way up into the stands, and the 2K20 logo was still there in 2K21. So it's like they're not trying anymore at this point.
They gave up. Madden more or less just is like that. That's why I'm so happy 2K has an arcade, and I'm hoping that they found a way to finagle it to simulation. but it's automatically starts as arcade, but you could turn the arcade off and have it as simulation. That would be smart because it's just options. You change the options. Hey, we don't control that. Our base game is arcade. I hope they do something like that. But it's just from the look of the game, and of course because I had to play my Broncos, so I was making them a beast. Like you could put the shoulder pads up real high. You could put the dark tints on the football pad, look like real grizzly looking. You could put all black elbow pads and make them look like really crazy. You could sit there and do their personality, the celebrations, also the VIP where you could face off against movie stars. It's so tough, and you could download your friend's VIP, and the computer will play like them. It was just an overall great game. If it wasn't that good, people wouldn't be modding it till this day.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you a series I really miss. Since we're talking football, and we've been talking a little bit, a series I missed greatly, and it's another reason why that kept me around on the Madden, and we were supposed to be getting it back. Because they find a lot NCAA football.
No.
Yeah,
it's not NCAA. It's college football with some NCAA team.
Right, but but what I'm saying is we're supposed to get that back though eventually because there was a bunch of the teams signed off.
Yeah, some of the teams.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're saying hopefully that. Sooner than later, eventually we're supposed to be getting that eventually back with a bunch of other teams keep signing on. It's going to be a little bit, but
here's what worries me the most about that is that they're trying to bypass the NCAA, and if they want to get each school, you know how much that will cost them, and so they're going to have to find a way to make that money back up front. So I'm worried about microtransactions. I'm worried about them saying, "Oh, if you want this team, you got to buy it $2." My team is UConn. They're trash, but I'm not paying no $3 extra for a game that they should already be in. You know what I'm saying? Or let us create teams or something like that.
They're probably gonna do that with the create the teams, make the logos on your own.
Well, see, my thing is, I get how college is, man. Like the athletes are supposed to make money, dude. You know what I mean? Like get sponsored and this and that. But we're talking about even if it's something petty, like something small, man. Like pay these guys, dude. I mean,
WWE ain't doing it, so you think they're gonna do it?
Yeah, I know.
What you mean?
Like with WWE taking away the the deals for the wrestlers to do Twitch and all that other stuff, and they're like a multi-billion-dollar corporation,
right?
And they're not letting their athletes do it.
This is having their likeness in the game, and that was the issue. That was the issue to begin with. That's why NCAA 14 was the last one that we got. It was because the players weren't getting paid, and it was too much of a likeness. You know, even though their names wasn't on the game, you know what I mean? But their jersey, the way that they looked.
Sometimes they'll just switch up their names a little bit too.
Right. Well, they didn't have the names. All they had was the numbers. You could put the names in. It was always just the numbers. It was like 32.
They had to auto generate.
Well, yeah, you could do auto generate, and you could just have random names. And then a lot of people, what they would do was, and they did this for years. Even some people even sold memory cards.
With the names, with the right names.
People would go through and put the right names and this and that on for every single team.
It's like that Wrestling Empire game that I'm playing on the Switch, where it's like they have everybody, but the name's not there.
People were actually selling. I mean, this is back when memory cards was a thing. People were actually selling memory cards and making like $20-$30 off a memory card for this stuff. And then of course it got to where it wasn't like online was a thing, and then people were just uploading.
You could get on the file,
right? You know what I mean, which was so much better. But I don't know. Anyways, that's something that I know a lot of my buddies used to spend a lot of time on too, was those college games. As much as you could hate Madden, those NCAA football games were always so awesome, dude. They really were, man. They were so awesome. And then you could bring those people over to Madden. But anyways, we're going on with this or whatever, man.
We stretched it for a while.
Yeah, dude. But that was a great series, man. All right, so next up, and this one, man, this one killed me, dude. This one, out of all the topics, dude, this one is the one that was like,
Yes.
oh my god, dude. And Dustin, start us off. Top six games, top 6 favorite games
So
of all
a lot
time.
of this one has a little story behind it, and you're probably like, "What in the world?" But
I ain't gonna judge you,
number
man.
6,
It's your favorite.
MLB Pendant Race.
What
On
I don't think I heard of that one.
And the reason why is because back in the young days when they used to have the MTV Rock and Jock softball games, you had guys on there like Brady Anderson, Kenny Lofton, Bobby Bonilla, Mike Piazza, younger A-Rod at the time were on those games. And that's when I seen them on the Rock and Jock and I started playing Pendant Race because my cousin had it. That's what I was like, all right, I get to play these people finally. And I'd put them all on a team. To me, that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
My number 5, NBA 2K13. Because of how the shooting was and how they had like the dream team, how they took off the dream team and everything like that on 14, and how the shooting has progressively gotten worse on a lot of the NBA games. And my number 4, NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with NBA Jam.
Nope.
Number 3, UFC 3 Undisputed.
Okay.
Because honestly, none of the UFC games nowadays compared to anything like UFC 3 Undisputed. Because you had pride rules, better entrances, community creations, better creations on that game.
It was made by THQ, so I mean, well, it was.
Yeah, I feel so bad. We used to give,
yep.
not to cut you off, we used to give THQ so much shit when they messed like one little thing up, and it's like, now they're gone, and we miss you guys. We miss you so much.
Number 2, NBA Hang Time.
Bunch of NBA games. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Really surprised.
NBA Hang Time was one of those games that, again, the creations, and I always thought that it moved a lot better and a lot smoother. And my number 1, which again, you're going to be shocked, NBA Shootout 98.
Wow.
Because they had, just like NBA Hang Time and NBA Jam, they had my Pacers, Smith, McKee, Jackson, Dale Davis, Antonio, Rose, Mullins, Reggie. They had all of them on there. And they even had Jordan on that game, but it said name not listed.
Yeah, but that was like
roster player 99.
Yeah, or shooting guard 98.
Yeah, shooting guard, whatever. Yeah. But to me, I think that was one of the most fun NBA games, other than NBA Jam or NBA Hang Time. To me, that's one of my favorites.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was expecting you to name other
like a WWE.
Like, I was expecting you to name like more than just this one category, but I ain't gonna lie. I thought out of the 6, you were gonna name at least 4 wrestling games. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I was like, Dustin's about to bang us all with all these wrestling games, dude.
Hey, you said
I'm
outside
shocked.
of wrestling.
Hey, no, I didn't say outside of wrestling. If you wanted to pick all 6, that was on
I think that
you,
was the
man.
sports.
The sports was outside of wrestling.
Yeah. But yeah, your top 6 favorite games of all time.
Wrestling,
hey, that's on
you guys are considering entertainment stomach.
Yeah, but this isn't. But this isn't like your top 6 favorite sports games. This is just your top 6 favorite games of all time. But hey,
List is
hey,
done.
Shootout.
Yeah, the list is done, dude. You
Shootout
ain't
is one
getting it
of-
back. But either way, I am shocked though. I didn't know that you were that big of a basketball fan, to be honest, dude. So that's pretty sweet.
Indiana Pacers all day.
That's awesome, dude. If you ever end up getting the NBA Jam cabinet, dude, you're gonna have to, because that's online. If nobody knows that, that's online. You can
Which one?
Okay.
The NBA Jam arcade one-up cabinet. That's
Oh, yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play that online, dude. So if you
Wow.
ever get that, Dustin, man, we have to play some on there, because yeah. But anyways, Dre, you up next, man. I know you was excited for this one, brother.
All right, cool. So, boom. This is what my 6 are going to be based off of the fun that I had with my friends while we were playing it and the amount of times that we can play it. Because honestly, there was days where we just played it and that was it.
Yep.
So, number 1 was Twisted Metal 2.
Okay.
We would battle it out. We would go through each stage. We would write down the codes once we beat a stage, and we would switch turns. Like, oh, you can't beat the stage. Let me try. Like when you was on New York and you was on the rooftops and you would fall off the side and you would die. You lose a life. And I'm like, nah, I got this. Or you got to face Minion in Mexico. Like, I remember that game. I remember some of like the special moves. Even though I don't have it anymore, that is my game. Like we used to blow up the Eiffel Tower, and it would change the stage. Like that game was the truth. That was literally the best Twisted Metal that I've ever played. Everything else after it just did not add up to it, just the nostalgia. And it was one of my first games for PlayStation. I got my PlayStation late. So that was like one of my first games. I bring it over my boy's house. We would play it. And it was crazy because it was like we were so into sports and other things like a combat card game, but we got into it. Like that was the truth. We were all into wrestling. There's 2 wrestling games I have on here. Another one is SmackDown 2. We got it cooking on that. We got it cooking on a regular basis.
Yep.
I mean, I bought a multi-tap just for that game. Like,
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
I did too.
So it was
for that game too. For that game, and I used it on others, but for that game is why I originally.
How many
bought
memory cards you go through?
Listen, we had memory cards for different wrestlers because what we did was we beat the game. And then what we did was we copied it over and then changed the created wrestlers on each one. So we'll have different ones. So we we used to make all fake wrestlers. We didn't make no real wrestlers at all. So we would just have a bunch of crazy dudes just doing all the moves. And the movesets in there were crazy. Like they had everything in there. Like they literally was like, yo, just make a WWF game. Throw whatever, as long as we have WWF on it, whatever moves you want, we're good. And it was so fun creating on that. Another one was Metal Gear for PlayStation. Beat that game like 7 times. I literally enjoyed every aspect. When I first beat it, I didn't understand the story. I just was playing it because I enjoyed it. And then like I really got into it and really started learning the lore and like got interested in the stories of it. And even like getting into like Nintendo, the Nintendo story of it. Also playing Sons of Liberty, but the original one for PlayStation was my game. WrestleMania 2000.
Great game.
Yeah, like WrestleMania 2000 for the same reason. We all used to play that game. Multiple, like all of us. It was like 7 dudes in the room, just hot, just playing the game. Just and like I mean,
that's my high school days.
Yo, for real, room smelling crazy, and then we just like playing that game. Like, you get your boot smoked, you off the controller. We on to the next one. We'll play a tournament. Like, person who loses, stay off, rotate the controller. That right there. I said this earlier. Mass Effect 1 and 2 because of the story, the deepness. They switched it up a bit from the first to the second one. The first one, you can go on planets and actually move around in a rover. In the second one, they took that away. You just scan the planet. But just the deep storyline, the multiple choices that you can make in it, how to upgrade the characters. Like, I just enjoyed it. And I never thought I would. But that game right there was just so enjoyable. Like, the remake of it, I think I might get it. I'm not sure because I still have
same.
Yeah. So I mean, I already beat it, so I'm okay with playing the older versions.
Yeah.
Then Tekken, the Tekken series. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't really into Street Fighter. I was really into the first Mortal Kombat, but Tekken was the game where I remember it was one of my boys who let me borrow.
Now, are you talking about the first one?
No, Tekken 3.
Okay.
Tekken 3. I remember my boy let me borrow his Tekken 3, and I literally stayed up the entire night beating the game, and then beating the game with the new person I unlocked, then beating the game with the new person I unlocked, playing the beach volleyball, playing playing Tekken Force, playing with Tiger. Oh my goodness. Like people don't even know about Tiger. Like if you do, cool. But some people don't know about Tiger. It's cool. But like playing with him. Yeah, that those are my 6, man. Like those were the games that I remember playing like as a kid and just enjoying those. It's more, but we're gonna stick to 6. So those are mine.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. Okay. Spike.
All right. Originally, I didn't even have 6 games. I don't know why. I couldn't think of a 6th game. And like Dre said, with the WWE games, everybody coming over and playing that would have been my 6th game. But like he already said it, and for the same reasons, like that's one of my favorites. But that's not gonna be my number 6. My number 6 is gonna be, I don't know if you see it, Mega Man.
Mega Man. Okay, it's blurring out.
Yeah, because my background.
You gotta put it closer to you.
There you go.
There you
go.
Yeah, Mega Man. Mega Man X, because it's like I played all the other ones on Nintendo and I sucked at them. Like couldn't beat the stages. I would get to the boss, get murdered. Same thing. Like I got Mega Man 9 on the Switch. If I can beat a stage, I'll get to the boss and I'll die. And like I always hated that, but I would still pick him up and buy him and then just get frustrated. And like Mega Man X, I remember seeing the photos in the magazines and I was like, oh, he gets like a little speed bike. And I'm like, oh, he looks upgraded. He looks cool. Picked it up, spent hours on it. It's the first Mega Man game I've beaten. So I have fond memories of that. Then next up, we got Maximum Carnage.
Ooh.
Yeah, to this day, I still haven't beaten it either. Don't judge me.
Me and you have talked a lot about that game several times.
I loved it, the comic book style that they told the story, and I got the book sitting right here. I would pull it out, but there's like figures on top of it.
Real quick, which one did you like better, the Super Nintendo one or the Genesis one?
I'd never played the Genesis one.
No, okay.
I've seen gameplay of it, but it's like for me the Genesis controller was weird as a kid with the 3 buttons. And so it was weird to me. So I was more.
You wasn't on to the 6-button one then. That's what we.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, and then it's like by the time
was really good.
By the time they came out with the 6-button, it was still I had already adapted to playing with the 4 buttons on the Super Nintendo. Like the majority of my games was more Super Nintendo than Genesis. I like the summons and stuff. Like you picked up the people's icons and it's like characters I never even heard of, like Firestar. What was that ghost dude? Carry On, I think was his name.
Yep.
Cloak and Dagger, like a lot of these Deathlock, a lot of those characters is the first time I ever heard of them, and that's what got me into Marvel because it's like all I knew was like your Fantastic Four, your Captain America's the main people, and I seen all these side characters and like learning about them, it got me into like my whole love for Marvel. And it's like if I could turn my camera around right now, you would see all the Marvel figures I have on my desk. You've seen them in the photos I've sent you and whatnot.
Love Marvel, man. Love Marvel.
Next up, Mario 3.
Okay.
Because I got my Nintendo late. It's like I had my cousins, so they always had the games. I would go, like they're the ones that got me into gaming. So I would go to their house, play Mario 1, Donkey Kong. I remember my best friend, he had Mario 2, and I'm like, this don't play nothing like Mario. It's different, but I like it.
Yeah.
And then like and my parents were always just like, we're not gonna just give you stuff to give it to you. You gotta earn it. So I had to like bust my butt in school. I held my mouth on the cursing there. I'm getting better. So like I got my Nintendo a little bit late. By the time I got it, Mario 3 was the game it came with, that and Battletoads, and I love that game. Like the whole getting the tail and like being able to run and fly, finding the secret warp whistles, stuff like that. I was just like, oh, this is unique. Fun fact, I didn't beat that game until I was like 26 or 27.
Can you
wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey, no shame on that, man. I mean, I beat it several times back when I was younger, man. But
yeah, I couldn't. Like I got Super Mario World after that. I beat Super Mario World before I beat that. Like I beat that as a kid.
3 is my wife's favorite game, dude. And every time we play it, dude, she is amazing at that game, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like now I could breeze through it. It was just like, as a kid, I couldn't beat it. I was
still never the greatest at it, man. had help when I was younger. You know, me with friends, and we would beat it that way. Myself, I have never beaten it by myself when I was a kid. I finally did it. Not that long ago by myself.
See, so I don't feel bad now.
But it was also one that I never like played all the time either. You know what I mean? It's never one that I like literally sit there for like days or hours and hours and try to master. I would usually give up. But yeah, I finally did beat it by myself not too long ago.
See, I don't feel bad now. I'm not the only one.
I screenshotted it on my Switch just to prove it. But anyways.
All right, next up, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the first one.
Hey,
and it's like,
that's an awesome game.
Kill me now. It's like, I like Star Wars. I'm not a huge like Star Wars fan like that. Like, I've seen the first 3 movies, the originals. I think I skipped like the ones after that, like the 2 after that. I only watched the final one where you see how Anakin becomes Vader, because everybody was like, you see how Anakin becomes Vader, you have to watch this. So I didn't sit and suffer through Jar Jar Binks or any of that stuff, or the non-chemistry between Natalie Portman and the other dude. But I know stuff. I know enough that like I can sit there, I can have a Star Wars discussion. And then it was like, this game, Knights of the Old Republic, came out, and I remember reading about it, and it was like, you create yourself. And I always tell everybody, that's a selling point for me with the game. Just tell me this character creation, and I was like, I'm sold. And I seen it, you create your character, and then they tell you the whole story about it was Darth Revan and how he was this menace, and the Jedi sealed him away. And you're playing through this storyline, and I remember the big revelation. If you ain't played this game, I'm about to spoil it for you. You're standing out, like they're telling you the story, and you see Revan, and he's standing out looking at the field, and the camera pans behind him, and then when it pans back to the front, his mask is off, and then like you look, and you're just like, wait up, that's me. And it's just like, wait, I'm him, and I'm just like, oh. And I thought that was like one of the coolest reveals in video game history. Combat's a little bit different. It's kind of like, it's not turn-based. If you play Dragon Age, it's Dragon Age. Yeah. But it's like games like that, like that's what made me, like when I heard Mass Effect was coming out, and that's why that made that part on the list instead of Mass Effect. Because if I didn't play Knights of the Old Republic, I would have not touched Mass Effect, Jade Empire, any of those other games like that. Like, that was like another unique playthrough for me. Number 2 on my list, it's same as Dre, it's Metal Gear. Metal Gear was my game. I got that for PlayStation. I don't know I don't remember what caught my attention with it, but I was like, I have to have this game. Yeah. And I went from dying all the time, and I had no memory card when I first got this. No memory card.
Damn.
I decided to, yeah. I decided to sit down one day, and I was like, I'm gonna beat this game. I know it's a long game, and I did it. 6 hours. It took me 6 hours. No memory card. Beat the game, and I was just like, I got the bad ending because I think you have to choose. It's on the torture table, and if you give up, Meryl dies at the end. Yeah, I got that on, like, I was blistering up my hands, like, and Meryl died. And I'm just like, I got to play this again, and I got to save Meryl. And I remember going out, finally getting the memory card, and I beat it. And then, like, similar to Dre, it was just like, the story was confusing to me, but I was like, I beat it. Let me focus on the story. And then it was just like, I got lost in the lore of the game. It was like learning about the DARPA chief. I remember reading something that Metal Gear is actually real. And it was like, it doesn't walk and stuff like in the game, but it's like, it's at a base. They can pull it up. It comes out from the ground. And then it's like, it could shoot like actual nuclear warheads at a target and stuff. Strange enough, you can't find that info anywhere. Like, I tried looking it up a couple of weeks back, and all that info is gone off the internet. But I remember specifically reading that in one of the strategy guides that I got. And I was just like, played it several times. I got the tuxedo, the bandana for the infinite ammo, the invisibility, the alternate suit for Gray Fox, everything. Like, I played that game to death. All right, and my number 1 choice, favorite game of all time, Chrono Trigger. And I say this all the time. Any platform you see me on, I'll always say Chrono Trigger.
Dude, I was waiting to hear it. And I was like, okay, that's got to be his number 1.
It was gonna, like, I was gonna do the list as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but Dustin went 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was like, let me do the backwards count. But Chrono Trigger, mainly because it was like, at that point when I first played it, I was young. I was still pretty young. But I was at that point where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna keep doing this video game thing for too long, because it was like, I had a friend again, we're young kids, so we couldn't just go out to the store and buy whatever we wanted. So we would do the whole trade thing. Whatever game I have, I'd give it to him, and he'd go to the kid on the block that had everything and just get a random game, and he'd bring it back to me, and I'd play it. And like I said, we played everything. And I played that game, and I was like, this is different. Like, I played the Zeldas before, and I'm like, I like Zelda, but I couldn't really get into Zelda. And for whatever reason, like, this game, it just stuck with me. And I was just like, I like this game. And then, like, I'm playing it, and then I beat it. Then when I finally beat it, I gave it back, and I'm like, yeah, I got the ending. And my friend was like, which one? And I'm like, what do you mean, which one? And he was like, bro, it's like 8 endings, like 12 endings or something like that. I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, based on what you do, it's different endings. And I was like, oh, that's unique. I've never heard of that before. And I remember, like, I eventually had to move, and then, like, we got to the house that I live in, and I was just like, I gotta buy this game for myself. And to this day, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I still got it I still have my 3DS. I haven't sold my 3DS just because I have a copy of that game that I could go back and I play it at least once a year from beginning to end.
Maybe you should hold on to that 3DS anyways, dude.
Yeah, we got 3 of them. So I got 2 Persona edition ones. My wife has a Zelda one. It's sitting like right here.
Oh, I don't even have a Zelda one, man.
Yeah, she got the.
Back it up.
Yeah, it's like the Zelda Gold edition one.
Now, is that the new 3DS or is that the regular one?
It's the regular one.
I mean, either way, it don't matter to me. I still would love to have it. So,
I don't think they did a new 3DS version.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't for sure. Okay. All right. That was a pretty good list, dude. I like that, man. I love how you both said the Metal Gear, man. Unfortunately, that one did not make my list, but it almost did. Dude. And I know we only got so much time, dude, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on this list, dude, because, bro, this was the hardest thing for me, man. The hardest. I also didn't want to spend too much time on it because then I would have been like, I can't do this, because there's so many great games out there, man. So many that I love, dude, and it's so hard for me to do like and that's why I wanted us to do a top 6. You know what I mean? Because you always hear people do top 5 or top 10. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what? Let's do a top 6. And man, I kind of wish man, this was the hardest one for me, dude. Because I'm looking at it right now, dude. I'm still kind of like.
We have so many years of gaming, like, behind us and still forward.
It's like, man, I'm old, bro. Like, there's so many games that didn't make this.
Yes, you are.
That didn't make this, man. I'm ashamed of myself for not having it on here. Some of these are going to surprise you, maybe some won't. And
I already know your number 1 won't.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to like a couple on here, man, it's a no-brainer, man. But then some on here, it's like, man, dude, there was something else that I really love too, and it's just like, anyways, let's just get with it. So top 6, I'm gonna start with number 6. And man, I want to place this better because it's like my 3rd favorite series of all time for multiple reasons. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade version, the actual arcade, version, not the arcade NES version, which is a good game in my opinion, great game. But the actual arcade, loved it, dude, loved it. Spent so much time at the arcade. A lot of times I actually went to the arcade for hours just to play that game, especially with randoms and friends. So that makes number 6. Number 5, and I battled with this one, man, but it's like when I think about it, I talk about this one a lot. I talk about this game a lot, and it is my favorite out of the series. And there's another one that's a close number 2, which I'll talk about that game in a little bit. But GTA 3 is gonna make number 5, and so many reasons why it made my list, dude. And dude, it was a game changer. There was nothing else really like it. And it brought us into the open world, and it was 3D. And dude, the story. Dude, when I played this game, and I know I'm a little bit older than you guys, I think Spike's next on the list in age on here. I think.
No, I think Dre.
I don't know. I think you're older than Dre. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, Point is, I was like,
He ain't saying nothing.
I think I was like 21 when this game came out. I think. I have to go back and check for sure. I'm not for sure. Maybe 22. I think I was 21 though, when this game came out. So, but it was mind blowing, dude. Like it was so dope, dude. Like the stuff that you did on it, man. You know what I mean? It was just like, I don't know. I loved it, dude. I love it, and that's why it's there. Number 4 would be, and I know you guys. I guess everybody here. I'm the only one that likes the series, man. But Resident Evil 2.
No, that should have been on my list. See, I forgot about that.
Resident Evil 2.
I could appreciate that pick. That's a good pick. That's
a good pick. I love the first one, dude. I love the first one, man. But that's not really like what lured me into the series. You know what I mean? I love the first one, but number 2, oh my god, dude. Oh, I love that game, dude. I love that game. So yeah, I love that game. Number 3. Now this one may surprise you, may not surprise you, because I talk about this game. I have talked about this game a lot, and it's one that most of us all in here played the other night. But DayZ. Now I've been playing this game, so it's got to be in my top 6 because it's something I've been playing for over 7 years, off and on, and I keep coming back to it, dude. And anytime that somebody wants to play it or newbies, I get all hyped up, dude. You know what I mean? So it's got to mean something. You know what I mean? Like I do. And I know whoever ends up watching this is probably gonna be like, dude, DayZ, like what? There's so many games out there, and I get it, man. But like, it's a huge map, a huge world. There's so many things to do in a game, anywhere from hunting, surviving. Dude, I love zombie kind of type games, survival type stuff. And it's like, when you base it down to even like stuff that's came out after it and or before it, everything that's all wrapped into this game, there is absolutely no other game that is quite like this game, dude. You know what I mean? You could take out the zombies for all I care, and it's still like, I don't know, dude. It's like I said, I hopefully you guys will get a little bit more into it and we can play it again. You know what I mean? Because there is so much to do in this game, dude. Like so much. Just from the crafting, the just everything, dude.
I gotta figure out how to open a can of beans.
Yeah, like I said, and the game is brutal, man. It can be real brutal to you, dude, to where it's like, I'm not getting anywhere. What's going on here? And that's what I love about the game. There's no maps, you know what I mean, other than the app that I showed you guys. There's no map. There's no details popping up telling you what to do. And that's I think that's one of the things I love about the game, man. It's like you have to figure this stuff out on your own, dude. You know what I mean? So it's one of my favorite games, and I've loved it. I've watched literally thousands of hours, not even playing it, just sitting back and watching other people play it on like Twitch. You know what I mean? And so I love it. I love it. I love it. Number 2. Now this, and I'm going from 6 down. Number 2 is a game that I wouldn't have put up there originally, but I put a lot of time on the Wii U, and I've put in a lot of time, not as much time yet, but it's something that Breath of the Wild, dude. I
thought that would have been your number 1.
No, I originally wouldn't have put Breath of the Wild on the list because like I haven't beaten the game yet, and I'm only maybe like on the Wii U version I was only around like halfway, maybe over halfway through it, and then I kind of left it alone, and then the Switch version came out, and then I kind of like was involved with a lot of other things, so I wasn't jumping right into it, and I'm finally getting back into it, and then so I really haven't gotten like overall out of both consoles maybe about halfway through it, and there's still so much to do, even side quests, but man, the game is just like, for me at least, there's so much to do, and it's so amazing, dude. I'm such a huge Zelda fan anyways, you know what I mean? And surprisingly, there's not more Zelda games on this list, because there definitely could have been. Dude. And probably in my head, I'm sitting here right now thinking like, man, you should have put this on here. But I was trying to be like, I was trying to spread the love. But yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 definitely, and cannot wait for the second one to come out. But that's number 2. Number 1 game, and without any doubt in my mind at all, it's been my number 1 game for a long time, dude. And that's Ocarina of Time, dude.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I absolutely love the game even to this day, and it's not just nostalgia, man. Because I went back and I played it, and I still love it. I don't go actually back and play it on the Nintendo 64 too much anymore, but I do go back on the GameCube version, and my 3DS.
I have that on my 3DS. Yeah.
So those are the 2 that I typically usually go back and play it on. The 64, man, is just like I don't play my 64 that often. Some of the games I do, man, but dude, the 64, and I'm gonna get hate probably for this, but the 64, man, it didn't age very well to me. You know what I mean? I do love it, man. There's several games on there that I love, dude. No Mercy's my favorite wrestling game of all time, and there's other games, dude. Obviously, my favorite game of all time is on there. It's not one that I go back and play on that often, though. You know what I mean? Like I love the console, dude, but it just, in my opinion, the polygons, dude. It just didn't age too well to me, in my opinion, dude. That's just my, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna try to get off because I know we only got so much time. But the PlayStation 1, I don't think that aged too well, in my opinion, either, since I'm talking about things that didn't age too well. That whole transition over to, anyways, we're getting off.
You say that for the next episode, because I got a lot I want to add to that too.
Exactly, dude. So, but anyways, yeah, so those are my top 6. Very hard. It's probably going to be one of the hardest topics for me ever, dude. That's because there's so many other games that I wanted to list in there, dude, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Castlevania games, I wanted to put in there, but anyways, well, okay. So next up, 3 games that we think should be remade or deserves a remake. Spike.
Damn, I thought it was 1 game.
No, 3, dude.
3. I only picked 1.
You don't have to. Oh God!
I can make up some stuff on the spot. But what I had on the list, it was Xenogears.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it. You should be. It's like one of the greatest games.
Yeah, I know.
Xenogears. I liked it because it was when I played it. I think it came out around the time Gundam Wing was getting popular, and I tried watching Gundam Wing. I could not get into Gundam Wing. Any version of Gundam Wing, I couldn't get into it. This game had giant robots. I'm like, let me give it a try. And then I played it. The combat, it's different with the whole combo system, and you do your attacks. Where it's like it's turn-based, but you don't just like pick, oh, I'm gonna punch or I'm gonna do magic. Like you actually press like triangle square XX or triangle X circle square, and it does different combos for each character. So I thought that was unique. And I read a later report, like much later on. It's a 2-disc game, and it was like when you get to the second disc, it's a lot more talking, and like just like their CGI stuff is a lot of the second disc because they didn't actually finish the game. Like they rushed it and they got it out. So I would like to see a remade version of that with them having the time to complete it and like they get their vision the way they wanted it back in the day. I guess I'd say, again, I have to jump back to my favorite game of all time, Chrono Trigger. People have actually been asking for another version of that. Mm-hmm. Not Chrono Cross, but like a remake of Chrono Trigger, like just modern day. And, what will my third game be? I don't know. I got those 2 for now.
I mean, you don't have to name 3, man, I guess, but
I had the third one in my head, and then it was like, as I was saying all that stuff, I forgot.
As we're going through everybody else, man, if you finally remember it, throw it out there. Dustin.
All right. So since this is covering pretty much everything, my number 3, if they remade it, would be great. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from the Super NES.
Okay.
Because
they technically
the levels.
They technically tried with that crappy.
I'm not counting Mega Battles, no, because
Are you talking about the movie though? Like that one?
No, just the original.
Oh, okay.
With the
Now wait,
just
now
original
is that
thought.
the same one that was on the Genesis?
No.
Okay,
One-
I
Genesis
thought that's what he was talking
kind
about.
of like
that's what I thought he was talking about too. I thought actually, hold on.
a fighting version.
Oh, okay.
See,
The word like
I
you
thought he
could
was
fight
talking
as the
about this
Megazord.
one.
I thought he was talking
No.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie.
That's the one I thought he was talking about.
No, not
Me
Power
too.
Rangers. The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
Okay.
where you go through different stages, like 8 stages, and like last two boss battles, you're in the Megazord.
Mm.
Okay.
Me, I think
Okay.
absolute best one. Number 2, ironically enough, in the title, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. That definitely needs a remake.
Huh.
Or if not a remake, just make the 2K22 or whatever the hell is going to be called.
I
if
was
they
gonna
wanna change
say,
it.
I mean, this isn't a list of like it can't happen or whatever, man. But when it being a wrestling game, like that's one I don't. I honestly,
It's a no because of the roster.
yeah, exactly. That would never happen.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks that it's like that. But yeah, that would be a cool one though. I ain't gonna lie, because that was a good game.
And another one I'd like to see remastered. I'm sure a lot of you guys would be like, yes, absolutely. NBA Hang Time.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Like
I'll work
like
with
like
that.
like the same game, but like just upscaled, I guess.
Updated rosters.
Yes.
Updated rosters.
Updated rosters.
Yeah.
You even have older rosters.
I was just gonna say
that
that would be cool to have the
weird
original,
issues.
because that wouldn't be a hard thing to do, because obviously Arcade 1-Up did it. But have an updated roster on there too, to be able to play against like the old school and the new school. Now that would be awesome. That's actually I wouldn't even think about that one. That's actually really cool. I would like that too. Dre.
All right. Mine's very simple. Twisted Metal, mainly because I would love to see it updated. I would definitely play that. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. I would love to see that updated. I might download the ROM just to get something like that. And this one is a classic, and it still costs a lot to buy it. The Punisher from PlayStation 2.
Ooh,
That
okay.
game right there. That
Yes.
game
Okay.
was the truth. Brutal.
Okay.
Loved it.
Okay.
Those are my three.
Okay. Hey, that was a good 3. That was a good 3. Okay. I'll do this real quick. Number 3 would be GTA Vice City.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, dude. I would love to have that game remade, dude. That 80s feel.
Yeah.
That 80s feel, that 80s soundtrack to this day, that is the best soundtrack of any GTA game.
Did
in
they
my
go
opinion,
platinum
dude.
or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
dude.
definitely did.
Yes,
Definitely
dude.
did.
That and 3 is so borderline close in my opinion, dude.
Like I don't like if they did a HD remake and they changed the controls that like the controls are like Grand Theft Auto 5, I'd definitely buy that.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I would love to have that remade, dude. And I don't want remastered, man. When we're talking about, I ain't talking about remastered. I'm talking about remakes.
Remake, yeah. Honestly, that's like the one game where I'd take a remaster if they were giving me that and not a remake.
I get that. I get that. So if that's the only way we got it, then I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah.
But I want remakes, like remakes, not no remastered crap, dude. So and number 2 might surprise you guys. I mean, maybe not, because whatever. But Zelda 2. Link. Hey.
Wasn't
Zelda
that was like
2.
the side-scrolling one, right?
Yes, dude. And when you're in the open world part, obviously it's down
It's
above
top down.
and it's
Yeah.
tiny. But it was the first side scroller, actually the only one ever, I think.
The only one that did side scrolling.
Yeah. Back in the days, man, when I was a kid, when it came out, there was nothing else that we had to go on except for the very first one. So back in the days, dude, it got a lot of love. It didn't get the hate that it gets nowadays, and other generations that went back and then now try to compare it to it being outcasted. But there was nothing else but only number 1 before that. I still put it up there at God tier Zelda games, in my opinion, dude. It's right up there on that S tier or whatever. People have the tiers. I love it. It's one of my favorite games. I actually have a current profile on my Switch I started it up not too long ago, and I'm actually replaying it. I mean, it's something I always go back to over the years. So I would love a remake of that, dude, like an actual remake. Oh my God, dude. And then of course, for the Switch. And then of course, number one, Ocarina of Time. Now,
Of course.
now,
That game just
yes,
came out like
now,
a couple years ago.
now, no, that was a remaster. That was a remaster.
Yeah, they did a remake. Yeah.
Yeah, for the 3DS. Now I get, dude, yes, it looks a little bit crispier and, blah, 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 freshen it up a little bit, but it's not a true remake. Like, I want a true
Breath of the Wild
remake,
type version.
Breath of the Wild type version, dude.
I could get with that.
Same story, the same characters. Add a little bit of stuff in between that they weren't able to do on that.
You wouldn't see that grass blowing in the wind.
But I want that story, that timeline, that everything, but on a Breath of the Wild scale, dude. Oh my God, dude.
I'll take it. Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game that I beat out of all the ones that I played prior to.
The OG game, and I love it, dude. I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Anyways, so yeah. That list wasn't that hard for me to make, dude. That one actually came to my head just like that. Okay, so I guess we're done, right? So
yeah, I can't remember the third game. I'll mention it next time.
Mention it next time, man. So let's start doing these outros. Dustin, where can they find you, brother?
At ShaftDaddy_316 and at Revelation_X on Twitch and YouTube.
All right. Spike, where can they find you, brother?
On Instagram. I'll tell Instagram. Spike3585. That's SPYKE 3585. That's pretty much everywhere except for Twitch. On Twitch, it's Superior One Spike. Check me out. Come help me make some money. I got kids. Come support your boy.
It's all about those kids, man.
Easy there, Heath Slater.
Dre, where can they find you, my man?
Dre41 Gaming on everything: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube,
Google
Facebook.
him.
Google me.
Google that man.
I'm on LinkedIn too. Dre41 on LinkedIn.
That's right.
Add me on there.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Of course, Tatted Up Gamer Dude here on YouTube, man. What you guys are watching, and let's see, Twitter is where I'm at, like all the time, every single day. If you like to see a lot of like old school OG, I'm old, man. So if you like the classic, the retro stuff, dude, even to the modern day stuff, come follow me on there at Daniel, aka D. That's DANIELAKADEE. Definitely hit me up on there. I'm always on there. If you want to follow me on Instagram too, go ahead and hit me up on there. That's Tatted Up Gamer Dude, all together. But yeah, and I haven't been on Twitch in a long time, but it's Tatted Up Gamer Dude on there as well. It's been a long time. I've had some people say, hey man, you should start streaming on there. And it's like, I used to, but I actually went and checked and it was like, in February, it'll be a 4-year anniversary since the last time I streamed on there. So, yeah, man. Hey, well, I got away from it, dude, and started streaming on Mixer there. Y'all know how that ended up. So, but anyways, yeah, those are places that you can find all of us. I will, like I do every week, and I just forget to say it, but I will, down in the description, list everybody where you can actually find us all. I do that every time, so that's where, if you can't remember on here, you don't have to go back and push pause and replay it. Just go down in the description, guys, and you can find where all of us are at. But that's gonna be it for the Gamers Cast episode 4. Hey guys, I appreciate y'all coming out tonight, man. I really do, man. Thank you very much. This was a good show, dude. I like this one a lot, man. But anyways, check you guys out on the next one, and game on.
See ya. You guys are not crazy. I've been drinking like 2 different drinks throughout the episode, so by the way.